up, y'all? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's get into the drama, because it's a lot going on, and we're only in the second day of March. I don't know what is in the water over there down at the Potomac building, but it's seeping through because people doing too much. But in this video, we're going to talk about Michael Darby wanting or is suing Candiace for defamation. So let's get into it. All right, y'all, so let's get into this article. It says, according to documents obtained by People, Darby filed a defamation lawsuit over a comment Dillard Bassett, 36, made during a season 7 episode when she told the 36-year-old's estranged wife, Ashley Darby, 34, that Michael likes to leave you and go to a man named Censored House and suck his D. Dillard Bassett then stated that the episode that she was not supposed to talk about this person, but he says Michael Darby is a client of his. That's what you're asking, because I was holding on to that per the suit, which was initially reported by TMZ. In making this statement, Dillard Bassett initially hesitated and looked off to the cameras, indicating that what she was about to say was salacious and punitive, but nevertheless proceeded to intentionally utter the defamatory statement Darby's lawyers assert in the documents. People have reached out to Dillard Bassett for a comment. The documents claim Dillard Bassett falsely accused Michael Darby of committing a crime under the laws of Virginia where the Darbys live and are therefore actionable as insulting words because they are deemed to incite violence and / or breach the peace. Darby's legal team alleges Dillard Bassett's statements have prompted public scrutiny, hatred, humiliation, ridicule, contentment, and any other embarrassment to the entrepreneur seeking $2 million, $1 million in compensatory damages, and $1 million in punitive damages, as well as interest, attorney fees, and associated costs. In the document, Darby attorney also states that Dillard Bassett demonstrated knowledge that her statement was salacious and punitive and / or were harmful to Mr. Darby's reputation and were initially born out of evident hatred and disdain for Dillard Bassett as for Mr. Darby. Darby's attorney also added that Darby contacted his co-star on January the 17th, demanding Dillard Bassett immediately cease and desist from publishing or making any other further defamatory statements regarding Mr. Darby. The filing continues to date. Defendant has not retracted or otherwise accounted for her defamatory statements. And then it continues about the separation between Michael and Ashley. So the link below will be to the article. It is a People magazine article, and the title goes, RHOP's Michael Darby sues Candiace Dillard Bassett for $2 million over insulting oral sex allegations. So let's get into my thoughts. This is stupid, y'all. This is so stupid. Before I really get into my commentary, I went and I checked Candiace's social media. I checked Twitter. She hasn't posted since yesterday. I checked Instagram and her Insta stories, and she has yet to post since yesterday. And I also Googled her name to see if there was a public statement, and she hasn't made one, which makes me feel like Candiace is taking this very seriously. And I don't think Michael knows he about to have a fight on his hands. I really don't think he realizes that. I think a lot of people still see Candiace as a brat and all of this stuff. But as someone who's like Candiace since season 3, I've seen a shift in her. And I definitely see that she has gotten way more fierce in the way she defends herself. And I don't think people understand that, like, during season 5, she faced a lot of harassment. A lot of people were in her comments sending her death threats. People were saying she deserves what happened to her, and they would beat her. Like I said on one of the videos, I remember being on Clubhouse when Clubhouse was really a thing, and how it was grown women in their 40s and 50s, like, all that spewing hatred and venom to her while she was on the stage, saying if they saw her in the DC streets, just be ready to square up. And it's like, I don't think y'all know how much that changes somebody. You have people reaching out to Chris's kids, trying to get at her stepkids. And it's like, that changes someone. That makes someone, one, more fearless in who they are, but it also makes them ready to defend themselves until the very end and to hit you back even harder so you know never to come at them again. And that's what I see in Candiace now. I also see that Chris has shifted in his perspective as well, because I watch clips from a page on YouTube called Bravo. No, I think it's called Bravo Bros, and I'll put a link below so you can check them out. And they did an interview with Chris, and Chris's demeanor in that interview is just like, it's whatever now. Like, it's whatever now. Like, y'all really tried me, and it's whatever now. So I think Michael thinks he's going to get the best of Candiace and Chris, more specifically Candiace, and I don't think it's going to come to fruition. I really think a lot of things are going to start coming out about him. If not, like, if you didn't know, because I don't know how true this is, so I'll say allegedly, but allegedly, Michael is one of the biggest landowners in Somalia. And everyone's been like, wait, so Michael really has money? I also saw people look up apartment documents, and it's public record, but I felt like that was really intrusive for people to be looking up like how much people's houses cost. And that apartment that they were living in, that concrete box, was $2 million allegedly. Like, it was $2 million for them to stay there, and the actual penthouse apartment was 2,000 and something square feet. I think I saw 2,600 square feet. So it's like Michael has the means, but he just didn't want to give it to Ashley. And I just feel like, bro, more things are going to come out about you now that you're messing with Candiace, and now that a lot of people hate the way that they did Candiace and Chris. And I don't understand why Michael decided to prompt or bring out this lawsuit when she made this comment in November, and no one has brought up that comment since November. We laughed about it and we moved on. People were like, ooh, like, oh my gosh, and we moved on. You're bringing this up when the whole season, most people have been talking about Mia versus Jacqueline, Mia versus Wendy, Wendy versus Robin, Candiace versus Giselle, and Chris versus Giselle. People really didn't even care too much for Karen versus Charisse. No one has even brought up what Candiace said. Everyone was more focused on, like I tell y'all, Bert and Ernie's love child and her lying. That was more of like, so I'm just like, what was the point of bringing this up other than to throw Michael throwing his weight around and to solidify that he really hates Candiace. And we already knew that. We have pictures of Michael in the Bahamas allegedly yelling at a girl that he thought was Candiace, but come to find out it was a Bravo employee allegedly, and he was basically telling the Bravo employee that he thought was Candiace, like how much he didn't like her and how like she has some nerve to be saying what she's been saying about him. And it's like, you went out your way to find this lady on the resort when you knew she was there for her tour just so you could yell at her. And then when you think you see somebody that looks like her, you yell at that person. Honestly, Michael has always given racial undertones when it came to Candiace. Nobody else on that cast, but he be giving that. And then when he gets to Chris, it's very classist. Ever since he called that man trailer trash, I was like, that's what you really think about him. You think he's white trailer trash. And the crazy thing about it is, I don't even know if they use that as a dig over there in Australia. Because I know in America, we use that to demean and disrespect people. So it's like, this is how you've always felt about them. And it's always been that type of energy from Michael. And the part of me that feels like this is a frivolous and stupid lawsuit is when I got to this paragraph or these sentences in the People magazine. And it goes, Darby's legal team alleges Dillard Bassett's statements have prompted public scorn, hatred, humiliation, ridicule, contempt, and or embarrassment. So the entrepreneur is seeking $2 million. And I was like, that one statement caused all of that. But Candiace didn't hop up on the scene till season 3, and people been talking about you since season 1. And that's the thing for a lot of people. A lot of people are bandwagon fans and didn't start watching Real Housewives of Potomac until season 5 with that fight. But if you had been watching seasons 1 through 4, You would know people have been saying things about Michael since season 1. When they had that situation with Katie's fiance or her boyfriend, where Michael and Ashley were on the reunion being like, everyone's very like free and touchy-feely in Australia. And Giselle was the one that was like, but we're in America. We don't really be doing that over here. Then you have all the cheating allegations. I remember a scene of Ashley and Michael sitting down at the restaurant, and he was red in the face because he was crying because he had to admit to her that he met somebody at the bar and he went back home they went home together. Then you had all the blogs posting that picture of Michael in his underwear while he was at the casino with some girl in a hotel room. Then there was the information that people were posting on the blogs where they were like alleging that this was Michael, they found Michael's profile on one of the gay dating apps. So it's like, before Candiace even got on, people had already had things to say. And even when she got on and she said things, people were like, yeah. You also have video proof of him touching a camera person without their consent at Karen's, I think it was at Karen's vow renewal or some cast event that everyone has been shopping around being like, how could Candiace ruin your reputation when there's copious amounts of evidence that you be out here being inappropriate? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And it's like, this, you're saying this one statement has caused all of this for you to want $2 million when people have been dragging you through the mud since season 1 and even after Candiace was on during season 3. And it's like, are you going to sue Karen when Karen said on that stage, I think it was season 4? Either season 4 or season 3, where she was like, people said they saw you on the gay dating apps, Michael. Is that true? When Ashley and Karen were going back and forth and they couldn't really say nothing. Then you had the situation with the whole alleged, what's it called? With the whole alleged Michael saying he wanted to suck Juan's when he was drunk, and you had Robin, Chris, and Candiace corroborating that story when they were telling Giselle. So it's like, are you gonna sue other people? Or are you just going to sue Candiace? Which doesn't make sense to me, because everybody has been saying things about you and you just trying to get at her. The crazy thing about it is, and I put on my conspiracy, my tinfoil hat, and I really feel like this is about to mess up Ashley's bag, and Michael is purposely doing this to mess up Ashley's bag. Now go with me here. Go with me. Because the thought just popped up in my head. Like, this is Ashley's sole income. And a lawsuit like this, especially with Candiace, which is somebody that people are starting to grow to like and one of the main faces of Potomac, I feel like this is going to put Potomac on pause. People are already saying that they're over the drama with Potomac, especially what happened with Mia and Peter, and a lot of people just feel like Mia stay lying. And then you have the whole colorism conversation. People have been digging into Giselle's past, especially in her dad's past, is that it's moving into basketball wives territory, where we're gonna have to like pause this show for a minute and really revamp and really harp on the sisterhood thing for people to really want to come back and like this show. Because a lot of people I've been seeing in other reviewers' comments and even online have been saying that, like, after this season, like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to watch this anymore. It's not fun. It's not entertaining anymore. Every time we watch the show, it's just them fighting constantly back to back. And there's no lighthearted or fun moments. And even if they have fun moments, we only see them on like iPhone video. Like, it's never like actively happening while the show is going on. And people miss that. I think people are like, you can be messy and still be fun at the same time. Look at Real Housewives of Miami. And I really feel like Michael is doing this to really mess with Ashley, as well as, he hate Candiace. But that's just my thoughts. Like I said, it's my little tinfoil hat moment, my conspiracy theory moment. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic and hop down in them comments below. Deuces.